And there we go. We are back for game number 2 in the Jesterhat versus Keys matchup. Jester securing himself a nice 1-0 lead here in the series. Is going to go to a game 3 by the looks of it from the number of replays I have. So in the top left hand corner on black ink, I personally vetoed. It is the purple Jesterhats of Jesterhat. Hey, seriously, does that not look like a Jesterhat on top of their head? Like the pointy hat, or more like a dunce cap? And in the bottom left hand corner, his opponent, currently down 1-0 in the series, is the red Zerg pieces of Keys. Now, they did change up this map a little bit for the Terran perspective. They did add a jump up to the front here, solely so the Reapers actually have a way into the base. I mean, other than that, they only have this little ledge here to get in. And simply, if your opponent does exactly what Jester's about to do, walls off or get some units on the low ground, you don't get into the base. But, again, unless we see some infested Reapers showing up, I doubt we're going to have that problem. He's going to go ahead and send his Overlord across the map here and see that Jester is going to wall off. They did a long time ago? What did you make a long time ago? What are we missing here? Didn't realize your name was the logo. Yeah, that is something that goes on within the Lit group there, the Lit Esports clan / team. All their logos are like a blue and black background. But anyway, early parts of the game, guys, just generally very quiet. Too cheeky going down. We do have a natural expand. Both players playing very similar styles so far. Just waiting to see that change up. We do have Cybernex Core on the way. Again, the other difference about Blackpink, there are some rocks. For Andy Man there who loves watching rock style and that replay happy hour. Oh yeah, and just a beautiful Nova. A beautiful dancing Nova. Complete with its own soundtrack for a billboard. But with that, just again, just a very quiet game so far. Nothing too cheeky coming out. 4 Lings about to pop out, 2 Queens. And now imagine these Lings are going to be used to scout like before. Jester, your wall off, man. It bothers me every time. You could tighten this up quite a bit. You know, just a wall off with less buildings. I mean, I know you're probably going to throw a gateway here. But say those 4 Lings showed up before that happened and you opened like pool first. You're going to be a world of hurt. I mean, it's gonna be a problem when those Lings slip in one day because you just think, oh man, he could have opened pool first. What do you got for us here, Jester? You know, it's game number 2. But I imagine if you didn't close it out here, hey, forward, there we go. Imagine if you didn't close it out here. Evo chamber? You do have Overlord speed. Is there an Evo chamber somewhere? Oh, okay, so we are going to see the Drop Lord. The Drop Lord is morphing in right now. Go for it and drop some Lings up here into the blind spot of Jesterhat's base. Like I said, when a Protoss walls off the low ground, just go around it. Never, if you can help it, guys, never try to break the front of a base. It's generally the most defensible position, and they'll never expect you to come from behind. I mean, it's just the way it works here. Sometimes StarCraft, you know, may be a numbers game, but it's also still a real-time strategy, and picking up stuff like this is generally the way to go. Now, the only difference I can say to Keys to make this a very solid play is to morph in some more Lings and send them to the front to kind of be like mind gaming Jester. Like, yeah, I'm trying to get in your front door, man. I'm poking at your front door, and then I'm going to try and get some damage done. It looks like Jester using a bit of that F2 command. Does pull that Zealot out there. But it sent a couple of depths across. Now, Overlord just kind of hanging out. He's got the Lennies loaded up, and he's ready to go. However, there is a Stalker in position here now, so Jester kind of thinking this. It might be a thing. We do have a 3rd base behind this for Keys. +1 melee is on the way with a Baneling Nest. Some depths are going to make their way into the main base here. See exactly how much damage Jester can find here. He's just scouting around right now. He's going to send his Shade back the other way. Shave off 1 more Ling before you get out. There you go. He does pull the army up into the main base, which means he can start to pick up a couple of these drones. Again, the Overlord still keeping some army supply tied up here for Keys. Army for Keys is 18-4. Let's go now. They die? Get them back out. They're not here in the main. It went home. Here we go. The drop finally going to make its way into the main base up here in the corner. This is just outside the Stalker's vision. This is just outside the Stalker's vision. He's going to find like the tiniest corner. Alright, Jesse, you had to see that now. You have to know. He does see it. He is going to bring his Stalker over here to try and start cleaning up these Lings. But if the Lings get this around, this Stalker is dead in the water. He does kind of wedge it in there. He only command move. Now these Lings are going to make their way into the mineral line to force the probes to be pulled. Now the probes are going to fight. Probius, I hear, is pretty good at killing things too, so handles the drop pretty well there. There's still one Ling left in the main base. Gonna get here to scout. See, there are a couple Stalkers. I see him run down to the front. That'd be beautiful to get the scout down here. Make sure there's no hidden tech anywhere on the map. Guess we're gonna add on a couple more gases. Back home is just hey, Keys, get him mining. Thank you. He's in his idle drones. Everybody loves idle workers, right? Just sitting there being lazy. Kind of oversaturated is natural as well. You do see a Roach Warren getting added on here in the main. Like a gas. So he is looking to tech up into that Roach speed. Got +1 missile attack and some Banelings. In fact, we're going to have a Ling Roach Ravager. Could be the idea here for Keys. And Jess are going to take his low ground third base. So again, after that little tussle there, both players are just going back home. Gonna macro up a little bit. Now, the only other thing I can say for Keys here is some Baneling drops. Be absolutely beautiful. I mean, there are a couple Stalkers here. But where are the Stalkers in the south, you know? This is another position a lot of players can actually abuse right here behind the natural and then this possible third. Is that you can go ahead and like put some siege tanks here, maybe some lurkers, and just start shelling away these gases. It makes it very difficult for your opponent to have to deal with that. You have a Hydrogen being added on. You do have the spores. Spores are down, so make sure there's no Dark Templar, no cheeky Oracles that can get in here, or Phoenixes for that matter. Again, just a very quiet game all around. Both players just want that macro up by that gentleman's agreement. You have Zealot legs on the way. 2 forges, so yes, they're wanting again get that +1 attack, +1 melee, +1 armor. Hydrogen is done for Keys. To see the Hydra start to pop up. He does have Roach speed on the way. Now, Jester, I'm starting to like his position, but at the same time, I feel his third was actually could have been a little bit faster, especially for how much pressure he hasn't put out yet. Keys is going to go ahead and take a fourth, and no pressure from Jester on the map right now. He's just free to do this. He's just free to macro up, get 4 or 5 base, max out, and say, yeah, bro, thanks for the free game, basically. Because, you know, if you don't pressure a Zerg or you don't pressure Toss, anyway, both sides can go the same way, but Zerg is going to get there first. You never can out macro a Zerg. Unless you start killing off base, it's just not going to happen. Guys are just kind of hanging out here awkwardly. Is that a new... What's in the pod? What is in the Stalker pod? You ever wonder that? But 4th base is done. Already 8 drones here getting this base saturated. He's going to go ahead and push out with his Baneling Roach composition. Looks like a Ling going to sacrifice its body and now it's going to fade away into the void where we'll never see it again. Both Hydras on the build tab as this attack is coming out here. Now remember, +1 attack is done for both ground and melee. So missile attack and melee is out. The 1-1 to 1-1 about to finish up, and he's getting blink. Oh man, I guess he's kind of feeling that there might be mutas again because his opponent did go mutas first time. So Key's in a really good position here just to surprise his opponent with this composition of Ling, Baneling, Roach, Hydra. His armor supply is almost double his opponent's again over here for Keys this time. Now, push in here. Here we go. But say he should push in here sooner or later. If he hangs out for too much longer, Jester might actually catch up. It looks like he wants to kill the rocks as he sacrifices the Banelings on the rocks with that A-click command. Yeah, at least he killed the rocks, right? You know. Afternoon, Sentinel Charge Lots. Welcome to the stream, man. Welcome to this cast of game number 2 of Jesterhat vs. Key. By the way, I did get your replays uploaded, so they are there. It's fun to feel, you know. Jester, where's the new probe skin, man? Besides the default, that's probably the best. Ooh, this warp prison. I thought it was about to fly right over this army. Well, it is, but it isn't. It's actually going to completely miss the army. As Jester wanting to move out with this warp prison, he finds the armies. Armies are going to meet on the ramp. Burst of Bio going to land all over the back line here. Start picking off some of these stalkers. Now, Storm? Storm done? Storm is not done, and he has a High Templar, so he wanted the Archons. There is a Spire behind this 4 keys, but I think this is just going to be more than enough here to close game number 2 in Keys' favor. But his fight is still heavily in favor of Keys. His Arc Supply is, again, like, almost triple now. At 114 to 38. I think Jester just playing a little bit too passive has let his opponent just get to this point where he's completely maxed out. 1-1 upgrade is done for Zerg. Third base is gonna die. Again, this is where things are gonna get awkward for Jester. Like, if he can't kill this army and he doesn't find any damage here, the Archon's gonna jump up here in the front line. Gonna clean up some of the army, but it's just not enough. It's just too much Zerg here. Some of it is trapped in the back in the corner because of this Hydra is just like, yo man, I'm trying to fight, don't bother me. The army is slowly going to push up here, and the Kanake is slowly growing more and more in Zerg's favor. He's going to back up, ball up with the rest of his army, and push up this ramp. Archon's morphing in. What prism going to get picked off here? Going to back up. Keys! Just A-click, man. You win the game. At this point, use A-click. That's your opponent's army right there. GG going to be called out as Jester tried to move out and gets caught for it. That's game number 2, tying the series up 1-1 between Jesterhat and Keith. Right back with you guys for game number 3.